Play along to the track. Let's see. Where's Logic? There it is. Here. So I was just messing around, enjoying Dann's new album, which is freaking awesome, by the way. And of course the first cut got me inspired out of the gate, and decided to try to come up and see if I could get close to that tone. And I'll show you the way that I did it. If I can get back to, let's see, let's get back to OBS. So in Logic, basically put the track in Logic and then did the new stem splitter, which is really great. And the way that works, you bring it in and you do the stem split, and it splits it out by drums, bass, guitar, piano, and other. And then of course I created a, this is something else. Get that in the mix. But so the guitar, that way you're able to kind of single out the guitar. Then what I did is I recorded as close as I could get, just hearing it. And then on that, I did a match EQ on that. This is not the one, this is the first one that I did. And then I recorded it again. I made EQ adjustments based on, this is basically telling me the difference between, so the reference was this, and then mine was that. And then you do a match, and it basically puts that EQ curve on the track that you've matched the reference to. So I kind of did the best that I could in Quad Cortex, which I'll show you here. And basically went into this EQ. See if I can, whoop, is it gonna show it? There we go. And then made a bunch of EQ moves, which I don't know if you can see on the screen or not. Let me look. Yeah, you can kind of see my logo's kind of hiding some of it, but you kind of see the idea behind that. And yeah, it turned out pretty close. Now, actually, this was recorded with my JTG, and what I realized was, in doing the Dan Huff's tone, is actually his guitar with the bridge in parallel. He always says that it's a split, but it's a parallel. So on his guitar, I'll go back to full, but on his guitar, he's got his bridge. There's a switch on this particular model. His has dip switch or mini switches, but on this one, pushed in is series, which is your normal humbucker, and then pulled out is more of a strattier tone because it's running these coils in parallel. So you get less output, and it's kind of a little more twangy. And I'll show you an example. We go back to Logic, and why am I not getting anything? Oh, because I got something soloed. Okay, so in Logic, so this is with the humbucker, and I'm gonna go OBS because I can't see. All right, so this is with the in regular humbucker mode, which is in series. And where you can really tell the difference why it's not in that is when he goes to the and I'll show you. So that's in humbucker, and if I go into parallel, that's series. This is that was parallel. This is series. So this is normal humbucking mode, and then series. So a little less output, but it's twangier. So yeah, so the JTG gets pretty close. Actually gets really close, but I don't get that when you do those open strings. It helps nail that sound. I'll play along to it again real quick. So I recorded one thing that I did do ahead of time. I pulled back my volume pedal a little bit to do the and I'll think and then the anyway. So I did that on another track just so I could have that kind of underneath. But that's the only part of the rhythm that I played. I didn't go any further than that. Oh. Actually, that was my guitar. Here we go. All right, now my guitar's in there. Something like that. Obviously, I don't know the song note for note, but that gets pretty close. If we solo, let's see, let's solo that and my guitar, so I can hear. And his has probably got a little less gain, maybe. I'll try to play along to it. And you can really hear it there. Whereas in the humbucker, you can really hear that he's got it split there for sure. Especially if you pick kind of closer back to the bridge, then you really hear that. Of course, I don't have a wah set up on this here, but I'll go through this preset real quick too and show you what I did. Let's see. Cortex. So basically, I'm going through a, well, I can't do it there, or you won't see it. Basically going through a legendary 87 compressor. I did that to kind of emulate my Cali 76 because I use that going in front, but then I try to get away from using that when I'm dialing in presets because I want to be able to get it all in the preset and not have to deal with any external pedals. And then I've got a capture of a Rev D40 that I found, added a little bit of treble. And I don't remember who the author is on that one. Let me see. I think it'll tell me if I do change device. I want to make sure I give credit where credit is due. Let's see. Author. Rev. Let's see. Rev D40. Derek MCELWEE. Derek JM. So Derek J MCELWEE. McElwee. He had a clean. Actually, yeah, he had a clean one also. That sounds really good. I went with the dirty one. You could go with the clean one and then add a pedal, which would it sounded good you doing that also. I tell you what also sounded good was the before I got the D40 capture, what sounded really good was a Lone Star there also. That sounded really good. Then what I have been doing recently that I stumbled upon is I've been adding a capture I did of a Fryette power amp, mainly because I got a Rev 7 D100 preamp, and all the captures sound really good, but what it's missing is the power amp section. So instead of capturing it with the power amp, which I could do, I suppose, and I probably will at some point, but I did this also because it sounds great. This Fryette, you add this to any preamp capture and it sounds better. In my opinion, it instantly sounds better. So it sounds great after my SLO X88 captures. My Friedman IRX sounds great after that too. And then I have another capture after that that gives a nice high-end treatment of a Neve 1073. And I've been adding these to, the problem is that it limits me as far as being able to add anything else. So, but it sounds so good with them in there, and without them in there, it makes a huge difference, and you can really tell the difference when it's not there. Then I basically added the two cabinets. I've got the Serv 212 Serv V type, and then I've got I've got two of those, and basically two different sets of mics. So I've got a 906 and a 421 on one, and a 57 and a Ribbon 160 on the other. And then after each one of those, I've got an ambient reverb. Oh, okay. I've got a room reverb on one, and an ambient reverb on the other. This preset, so I did a solo for Keith Scott's song, Everything I Do For You, and I basically just copied this preset and just changed out the amp section to kind of work on the Dann Huff, because I thought tonally it was really close already. Just using what I had used for that, it actually got me really close to the Dann Huff thing. But then I started, go down the rabbit hole of, okay, well, he was really using a Rev D40, so let's use that. And that actually got me even closer, obviously. Minus the EQ stuff. But when I was showing you the Logic thing, what it did on that match EQ, it made it almost, there were still dips and stuff, across the whole spectrum of frequencies, but it was almost completely flat. And that's kind of how I knew that I got it really, really close to the recorded tone. And then basically I've got a reverb lane, which I usually always do, that I control with the expression pedal, and a delay row also. And those are tied to this mix, or this utility gain right here. I originally had it up here by the EQ, but I needed another block when I added this Neve into the mix. But anyway, that's not important. And then also what I do too, I always throw in this dimension chorus, just because you don't really notice that it's there in this instance, because I have the mix kind of pulled back. But it adds some nice width. So when you take it out, you notice when it's out. I'll show you. It's barely perceivable, but it's there. But yeah, so that is the preset there. And what's up, Razor? How are you, buddy? Sorry, I'm just now looking at chats. But yeah, so. So yeah, one more time, I will, let's see, go back to full, let's see. I'll play along. I think. Volume back. So cool. But anyway, I just wanted to hop on real quick and share this. And yeah, hope you guys have a good rest of the weekend. Oh, one thing too that I'm gonna do a video on this because I always go to this and I never mention it, and you can't see it probably. Let me see if I can get it low enough. Hang on a minute. Let me see what I can see what I'm looking at. Yeah, this pedal right here. I had the other tilt boost, but this one fits better, so I swapped them out, and I have the other one on my actual pedal board. But man, this is the greatest pedal on planet Earth, because if you want to, let's say you just want. So let's say you just want to add a little more gain. I mean, it's the coolest pedal. It just takes everything that you're running it into and it just adds more gain to it. It doesn't change the tone. I hate to use the word transparent, but it really is transparent. This actually has a drive on it too, which I don't use that much. I mean, when I do use it, I barely just have the boost like right around 8 or 9 o'clock. I mean, I barely have it on. The tilt EQ, generally, the way that I kind of dial stuff up, it's usually like right around 1 or 2 o'clock. The tight switches all the way up usually. I'll show you. So with the drive on, see how, I mean, just, you know, that's with it off, on. So like me, I would, you know, Dan's tone, you know, I have more gain usually. But his is almost clean. Oh, what I didn't go over, whoops, sorry. What I didn't go over was, let's see, was this, okay, so the only drive, well, I won't say the only. The drive that I chose for, to go into the Rev was this Brit Blues. it added the least amount of hair, to the gain. So it kept it really clean. Gain wise, it didn't make it, fizzy. So that's why I chose that. The OCD sounds good also here. I put a capture of a what is it? A Lightspeed, a Greer Lightspeed sounds good there too. Because I don't know if he used a clean amp and just gain pedals. I've heard kind of both, but let me see. Digital Viper. I don't have a quad Cortex. It told me your own page. It let. Nightwalker, what's up, dude? Drinking game. Take a shot every time Andrew licks his fingers. Yeah. You could be drunk. You'll be so drunk by the end of the stream, and I can't take on that kind of responsibility. Everybody asks me, like, why do you always lick your fingers? And it's to get a better grip on my pick. So it's like a quarterback, Quarterbacks always do that so that they get a grip on the football. I guess I don't know. It wasn't never a conscious thing. But I do that, and then I make it, and it makes it sticky, and it just grips these picks. Anyway, that's why I do it. Let's see. Go back to full. And anyway, so yeah, so the Rev Tilt, I highly recommend. I do have my hand in the peanut butter jar also, Viper, so that is a problem. But anyway, I just wanted to pop in and kind of document this mainly for my own purposes, but I thought somebody would find it useful. If anybody wants this preset, let me know. I'll share it if anybody cares to have it. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of the weekend. So ironic, I've talked about the tilt. You bought a new Synergy tube head and 4 preamp modules. Oh yeah. I think I saw where you had commented that you'd gotten a bunch of preamp modules. Yeah, the Synergy stuff is insane. I would love to get into that personally myself as well. And I've gone back and forth about it, and I'm not ruling it out. Because they're awesome. They sound great. Oh, you've never owned a tube? Oh, well, shoot. Yeah, now you'll never go back. Now that you've got tube amps. It's hard, man. It's hard to go back. It just... the only thing that keeps me playing digital stuff like it does is... I've got tube amps upstairs, but... these are just so easy, and I don't get to play my tube amps often, although I am in a band now. We're doing grunge covers. The band name is Lollapaloozers. That's the working band title, and we're doing Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, and all the usual suspects. And I'm running this direct to the front of house, but also running it into my amps so that I can have that amp in the room, because the drummer's really freaking loud, mainly. That's the main reason for that. But yeah, it's cool. It sounds great. So it's a mono, which I don't love running mono, but one little hack that I do though is I run out of the headphones into my in-ear or into a mixer and then that way I'm able to hear my guitar in stereo and everybody else is in mono. But it makes my in-ear experience so much nicer. Even though I've got an amp in the room, you know, we've got to have in-ear so I can hear the vocals and bass and all that stuff. But I should start a grunge 50s doo-wop band called Nirvana. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, like I said, leave me a comment if you want this preset. I'll throw up on the cloud, and I'll show you what it sounds like without the EQ enabled. So you can see how normally I dial stuff up pretty bright. So pretty awesome. Thanks, dude. I appreciate you guys. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. And peace out. Thanks, y'all. I appreciate it. Thanks, Digital Viper. I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you. You guys are too kind. And yeah, have a great weekend. See ya.